Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have an Emerald Kindred versus an Emerald, no, not a Draven, Evelynn. Let me just swap those around because that was very weird for a second. Thought maybe I picked the wrong replay. No, solo queue Emerald, Kindred versus Evelynn, two very difficult, very strong champions. Yes, Kindred has been a little bit on the strong side, but that doesn't mean there are those who are not Master Plus smurfing it up. Because there are. This is one of them. So we have a 50% win rate, this player does, on Kindred, and we're going to see why they're kind of hot and cold exactly with those streaks, which they have. We have here Yasuo versus Lissandra. We've got ourselves an Annie as well as a Rakan here in the bottom lane, which is a little bit strange. But then again, I've learned not to question too many things about this game. Everyone starts on our red side. We have a Xayah Annie bot lane versus the Draven Vel'Koz. Not your most conventional lanes, but lanes nonetheless. So we should have a pretty standard first rotation here. Keep your eyes up. Obviously, Kindred can do a red side quadrant gank. Fury versus the other brother top side. And Evelynn most likely going to be doing that juicy full clear. Let's see if Kindred decides to cut down and punish this lane. Of course, you have to track when they detach and go ward as always. Make sure you're watching this with your eyeballs. Instead, we decide to go to the mid lane here. And, while that's fine, what's the big problem in your head? There it is. Wait for that level 3 from the Lissandra. Don't go in too soon. But at the same time, look at that wave. Look, where exactly are we going? And now, right, what the Kindred doesn't do, which we're just talking about, is pay attention to vision. We're like, can I cut down here and maybe do something? But then Yasuo dips up here back to the mid lane, so most likely he warded. We should have seen this. You have to see this. So if you want to gank mid lane categorically, then go around the top side, especially if it is gankable. However, as we said, look at the wave that we are witnessing as Lissandra hits level 3. And probably not going to go all in on that one. And now Evelynn knows that we are here. Now the question is, where are we going? This is seen. Evelynn does the right thing of just trying to smite it and get out here. Tries to throw back a little bit. This is okay pressure, but Fury can rotate. Yasuo does not. He decides to go all in on the Lissandra here. He does hit it for that. No, he hits the Q for the E. Is this worth the invest of time from a Kindred? Yes. And so for Split 2 of Season 13, I'm launching an easy way to have all the courses to address the issues you're having in your current MMR, to make improving as a jungler even faster than it's ever been, and to give more value and information than I've ever done in one simple place. Your new place for jungle growth and jungle diffing. And then give you a whole bunch of other stuff like free jungle cheat sheets, a custom-made video just for the Jungle Club every single week, open Q&As every single week, patch rundowns, free coaching twice a week for anyone who wants to join the room. I've been the go-to jungle YouTuber since 2017. I've coached thousands of clients. I'm a qualified teacher with 15 years experience. I know how to make a course, and I know how to make junglers convert from low elo to gold to emerald to diamond to master plus. If you want to climb faster than anybody you know, jungle diff every game you play, head to virkayu.gg, click on jungle course memberships and sign up to reach your true potential. But don't go through vision, right? What happened here? Did he let himself get ghost whacked? Of course, yes, yeah. We don't see the the kill, but yeah, minions are strong early. Remember this. You left click those suckers. You got 26 on the casters and 12 on the melees. So all in all, now do we go to the scuttle crab on the top side? Is Evelynn taking it, or do we go to the bottom side? Cannot have that as Kindred. It needs to be decisive at all times. Now we are going to roam down to the bottom side here. Were we tracking the vision? Unlikely. Lissandra goes over the wall with her E. They don't notice until it's too late. This should be free cash money gold for the Kindred and the Lissandra. We'll get that kill. Nicely done. Draven's going to turn as all Dravens do. Tries to kill the Xayah before he dies, which of course he does. And then the Xayah gets a return kill. So pretty good for us over there. But we have 12 CS. Evelynn's now top side going in on the Yone with 28 CS. And if she can get this juice, flash is committed. She obviously has no flash at this stage, already having used it. And the Fury's going to go all the way in. Yasuo is going to start moving on the way up. And he dies anyway. Well then, okay. So, bit of a coin flip-y weird little early game, but are you surprised if you're an Emerald player? I'm not, because it's basically what Plat was. Maybe on average, slightly more skillful. But like slightly, not quite diamond, just like it's the best of platinum put into one place. And you're seeing that the best of platinum still makes some very serious errors. Now, I'm okay with the overall outcome, but you can never justify it that way, right? Now, where is Evelynn going to go next, right? We've just seen a 28 getting kills, 28 CS getting kills on the top side. She's obviously snacked some minions up as well. She's going over here to steal this. We don't know this. Categorically, we don't know this, right? All we know is that most likely she should be going back to base, resetting with a blasting wand, Dark Seal coming down to the bottom side here. We've got this, we've got this. We don't know exactly where they're going to go. So we obviously now see the Yonic cross paths here. If you get vision, you'll know that the Krugs are gone. So go and ward this anyway, right? If you know categorically Evelyn's top side, take the Raptors, take the Krugs, gank bot lane again, if gankable. If you think she is coming back to base but you want to track her whereabouts, just slap the ward on the Raptor pit, right? And then obviously you can look to gank mid lane again, but ideally we go back to base. So Evelynn does a bit of cheeky counter jungling here. The Kindred's going to go back to base, and I like this hover for a gank though, but it's tough because it's Yasuo. And you got no itemization, no comeback, your guy just slice and dices away. There's Evelynn now showing up, so immediately you should know, hey, she hasn't gone back to base, maybe I can steal something, or I can hover this, track the bottom lane, whereas the Valkaz, oh, he's bot lane. Kindred, a little behind the tracking here. Does this make sense? Because red side quadrant, oh, it's warded. Can I invade the Evelynn? Yes, but I should probably do it without stepping on the ward that I know is there, which maybe means I can get an element of surprise and actually kill the Evelynn for once. Or cut down, gank bot lane, or gank from this side, if you think it's worth it. In this particular case, right, we do get decent payout, and obviously, waffling aside, the invade isn't terrible, right? It's just... You should know that was gone. You should know that was gone, especially when Evelynn shows top side again. Now we obviously are going to see the Evelynn go to this side. Now if she goes here, then here, and lane ganks down here, and your bot lane dies to it, right? Especially if they get an early 6, which does happen. It's on you. It's on you. Because this ward should have been here, so we could track it properly. Now, regardless, Kindred's level 4, doesn't take the Raptor camp, waffles over to the mid lane, 6 minutes in. Evelynn is doing this, right? We do not see anything, we have no idea. We'll know in 15 seconds when the mark disappears, so that is a benefit, I suppose, but I don't think that was like an intentional thing going to... Yeah. The ping on the minimap. The Kindred pinged this, we know it's what's going on. In the meantime, what's going on is bot lane is winning, and the Evelynn is now going to wait for her red, get level 6 from that most likely. Let's have a check just to confirm. Woo, should do. And now the Evelynn might be close. If not, Evelynn's going to go ahead and take the Grump, level 5. Knows the Evelynn's on the red, gets it taken. Oof, you see? Very close, not quite though. I wish they had the experience bar exactly as you would have it in-game. You don't. So you don't know, like, it's a bit misleading in the replay, but yeah. Evelynn goes all in here with the Sork Boots rush with Dark Seal and chucks out a W, forcing the Kindred to back away, even though Lysandra was there. I don't like what I'm seeing overall. I feel like it's too disjointed. There's a lack of flow. We're not thinking about the enemy jungler enough. The denial is kind of there, but also kind of not. Now Evelynn gets the RNG Scuttle. This will be 6, in case you weren't sure. Which means, in theory, because Kindred is level 5, and the Evelynn might know this, the Evelynn could look to do a little bit of an invade here and try and get that kill beforehand. However, walks to where the Annie is. Kindred does show up and kill the Yasuo over the wall, which is what you're expected to do. Let's see. We did see that, no? Or did she sneak in? She snuck in, of course. Excellent. Here we go. Checks the bush. And that's why I always tell you to kite it into the bush. But at this particular stage, doesn't matter like where the Evelynn's head is at, though. There you go. It's what we want. Nefiri roams down top lane, from the top lane. Lysandra's there with no mana. Kindred now is dead, and Evelynn's going to take her... Did we just flash for that commit? I know they said she's kind of strong, but I don't remember seeing a useful Nefiri in my entire life. I just don't remember seeing it being good. Like, I know the stats say otherwise, but it's just not a skill for champion in that sense, right? Like, it's a, I don't know. It's a dog champion. Yeah, I guess she does need nerf stat-wise, and obviously in low, mid elos, you're gonna see that effect, but for higher use case, I don't know. Yeah, a little soon on the E there, so we don't quite get the execute, but we'll take it. We're still not yet level 6. The Evelynn is now like, oh, I can't help this. Let me sneak away this dragon. See, this is the kind of thievery I like. I told you about this all the time. Hey, I cannot rotate to that scenario on the bottom side. Let me go ahead and sneak this dragon, sneak this crab, sneak this blue buff, sneak something away while they're busy doing something else that I can't affect. And then, cool, I take something of value while they're doing other things of value. It's a good rule of thumb to focus on if you're a general diamond, emerald, platinum jungler. Like, those little sneaky things do add up quite nicely over the course of a game. Now, where are we standing overall? We have here the Kindred 3-1-1. So, You look at a 3-1-1 and you would say, hey, if you'd started with the 10th minute, 3-1-1, you'd say this is not so bad until you realize this, you know, the level 6 to the level 7, the 14, 15 CS behind, they've lost a dragon, the Evelynn's still 2-0-1, and the gold amount is down 300 actually, but you know, you don't know those things in game. And still, 10 minutes, level 6, like that feels like you're a bit slow, a bit lagging behind, and when you watch it live, you're like, you know, when I have those good games that I go post in Discord, why are my team trolling me? You realize that, see what I'm saying? You realize that it's not always as pretty as it feels in game, is it? But there you go, I like that too, right? I like this too. We're moving up to the top side, we don't get disjointed by these spawns, we say, okay, cool, this is a gankable lane, let me do it. Clear the vision, we obviously have this one. I would expect Evelynn to show up here, so there's a little bit no shits given by the, well, her ult is up, so there's no point you ulting because you're gonna die. You gotta think about the Evelynn, man. You can't say, well, Evelynn's cringe. You gotta think, where would she go now? She just took Dragon on the bottom side, right? She just took those things. You've got a ward here that says, hey, Raptors are not available. Where's she gonna go? She's gonna go top side afterwards. What's the strong side for objectives? It's the Herald that's sporting. You're just gonna go kill top lane, take a whole bunch of damage, move on down to the Herald and be like, she shouldn't bother me, when Evelynn's mid laner is shoved in. It's gonna happen. So you have to respect that possibility. This is where we would want to do a loop path, right? We would want to kind of go around the top, do the Krugs, do the Raptors, maybe kite it into the bush to be safe, and then look at your HP, look at the state of the game, look at your gold amount. Is this even something we can contest and do right now? Can I gank this first? Maybe. You've got some options, right? Evelynn decides to cut and do it anyway, and the Kindred is going to do this mark and finally get the third one. One more away from salvation. Don't compromise your jungling for marks. I know it's important, but, you know, try and get the marks you deserve, but don't die for them, right? Like, you're not Kane or anything like that, and it's not as huge as you might think in terms of loss of tempo. Firstly, if you're going to do that, mark the guy beforehand. Gives you your fourth. Secondly, you just heard the Evelynn take the Herald, so you know Evelynn's going to be shadowing the scenario. Now the Evelynn goes for the counter jungling again that the Kindred wasn't. So you're seeing a nice big difference here. Even though Kindred's popping off and doing okay, right? Even though they're doing okay, it's very, very obvious that the Evelynn has a much better idea of not only creating the same pressure. One more. Oh, well then, that was, okay, anyway, so let's pretend that didn't happen, and we'll talk about the pros and cons. Okay, so Evelynn has made a small mistake, but the Evelynn's had a better sense of objective control, sneaking things away from the Kindred when they're busy, counter-jungling crucial moments, just by, you know, tracking and understanding these things, seeing the Kindred here, warding and protecting, giving up things they cannot contest. All the great unheralded rules of getting to Diamond. Honestly, that's the big stuff. If you're doing stuff like this, Evelynn, you'll have a better time than if you're doing stuff like this Kindred, which is largely luck-based and results-based. Because you're not going to be guaranteed to get those Yasuo kills, you know, the Draven kills. Those are all good rotations, good job, but... Oh, we got a baby! And now Evelynn's on the bottom side on this mark. We're going to shove this up a little bit, but obviously Neferi's going to shove. You have to, again, think about the Evelynn. I have concerns about her showing up always, especially when we don't have ult up just yet. High cooldown. Although Evelynn should try and use that Herald somewhere. Bot lane, no. If Evelynn decides to use that bot lane, I'll be a little bit concerned. Kindred's going to the top side here for no particular reason. Why are we face checking this? What are we going to do? Exactly? I mean, I know we got the kill there, but again, like, I don't really care about those things. Are we just chasing the Neferi randomly? We're just chasing the Neferi for the 2v1? Okay. And that's okay. But again, the question mark for me is, where is Evelynn? Shows up. We're forced to burn our ult again, and yes, we turn it nicely, but again, I feel like that's more about the Neferi than anything else. Evelynn gets the electric proc plus that beautiful QE combo where we don't actually need to use anything else, really. Valkyr's rotate. Oh! That's 2 mistakes now in the last 2 minutes, but... Yeah, I mean... 1347, wasted opportunity. You know, if you're the Evelynn here, right, and you have this Herald in this moment, would it not be better just to sneak around the side, quickly drop it, and then go in and help? Like, you're not going to do anything with the Kindred's ult active anyway, so why didn't you just drop the Herald, get some plates, and then turn in and get that kill as well, which you most likely would be able to do, because you do have ult in your toolkit of cooldown. But we'll go ahead and snack this dragon as well. This feels like, a loss by 1,000 cuts. Very much like the Fiddlesticks video yesterday, right? Where the compounding of your small errors makes it a really big one. And again, the Kindred hasn't played terribly. You know, like this rotation here as we're just keeping the camera locked on them. You know, Herald is used, we get the turret, rotates to the mid lane, kills the Yasuo, which is great, but now you're dead to the Evelynn. Again, not thinking about the Evelynn. And it's all very well saying, hey, you're holding turrets, like hold this. But if it comes at the expense of losing the turret anyway, losing your camps anyway, and you keep dying, such as your 8-5-1, are you really gaining advantages? So think about the risk-reward in those scenarios. Like here, it's gone. You're not getting out of that situation if you go in, you don't have ults, and might as well just farm up the Raptors and hold the tier 2, right? And guarantee that that's in your pocket. Look at this go. Look at her go. And Evelynn doing turret damage and no one watching. This one's gone as well. Yona 0-2-3 despite looking like, look at this. Ah, will she think about, nope. No. Woo. Yeah, Emerald. Do some damage, sure, but you know Lissandra's going to be collapsing. You know people are coming from base. Just withdraw with enough time so that you don't have to use your ult. Or your Rocket Ball active. But we have passive. That's fine. It's more the ult usage that bugs me. Kindred now basically sees all of this and says, hey. We've got here a mark on the bottom side. Lissandra punishes the lazy back. Which it kind of was, but yeah, it was. Screw it. Kindred decides not to go for the mark in this particular case, which is odd considering 2 are dead top lane. Yasuo's top lane, 2 are mid lane. There we go. And what you can do here, in these stalled out scenarios, especially in losing games, go push this bottom wave, right? There's no need to shadow this. You've got Nefiri dead and Evelynn dead, which is huge for your tempo. You've got Yasuo top side, you've got these 2 mid lane. This is beautiful. Take this, shove this, and take this turret, right? Open the map up a little bit. Get yourself some more experience. This cut here, this mid-game outlet cut, absolutely monstrous for these tight games or games where you might even be losing. We like that. Instead, we go to the mid lane, and if we get kills, that's great. Like, I'm okay with the kills, but a lot of damage. You understand what I'm saying about that damage profile, right? Or the decision profile. This is great, cool, but does that kill lead to you winning the game? Versus shoving this in with this spawning and having the Lissandra realize that this is taken care of, and maybe even just deciding to rotate over to this to help us team fight because this is dealt with, shoved in, and she doesn't have TP. Now she's like, well, I better be going on over to bottom lane, get that turret for my team. And there's no vision here. You don't have TP. Kindred's half HP. Evelynn's on the map. Nefiri's on the map. Yona's topside. Nefiri shows into the mid lane. And now again, Evelynn, all she has to do is simply hit a very, very basic combo with a W slow, no ult needed, and the Kindred will die. But then Nefiri, kinda, yeah. I don't know. I know it's the player. I know the champion's got decent data, but still. I see that more often than I see anything else. Now, we have no prior topside. We know Evelynn is going to be on the map thinking about this, or she should be. Let's have a look. Yeah, we go. And we have gained a level now through these kills. And again, these kills are great, but what are they equaling? What are the kills getting us in the way of victory? And a lot of the cleanup kills are just good reactive pathing. I like that. But, you know, I feel like we could have done some damage to the bottom lane turret. Here we go. Nefiri has TP. Obviously, you got to track that stuff here. Again, we get that kill. That's nice. We're going to die here. Or maybe we won't. Let's see. Nicely done. Good spacing. Good spacing. Evelynn will have... Oh, my goodness. She ulted to hate spike. Intent or not, looked interesting. So, 12-6-1 versus 7-2-2. I just don't like dying 6 times. Like, I know we're getting 12 kills, but we're dying all the time. Lissandra's doing work down here, which is great. So again, don't results-based it and say, but look, Lissandra, do you really trust any teammate at all at that point in the game? Do you trust Lissandra to do what she just did? No. No, you do not. Don't lie to me. You do not trust someone to split post unless you're a duo with them, right? Maybe. But Dragon is going to be spawning. Mark is on the red buff. It's unlikely we're going to be able to do anything about that. We do have TP committed by the Lissandra, though. So, I feel like you could rotate to this, but if your team has it, they have it. Draven ult? I get it. Like, I get it. See, this would be one of those cases where What's your role? What are you capable of? How fed are you? I don't think we necessarily would commit everything for the second Herald. That is my concern. I'd be much more focused on just getting that next dragon to the nice soul point Baron swaps. We also have a bit of split push pressure we could apply. We could do some counter jungling. There's a lot of stuff on the map we could do. So, you know, we get the Herald, but at what cost? Basically everything. If we were there, could we have changed the nature of the fight? Maybe a little bit, but I don't think in such a superhuman way, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it would have been absolutely gargantuan, because they obviously have the numbers advantage. Yone isn't even in the picture. Yeah, you just be doing this, doing this, doing this. It's gone. They show up, you can collapse on this as necessary, make the calculations. Again, you're at a numbers disadvantage. But I don't blame the Kindred necessarily for not going for that second Herald fight. You know, you gotta look at it. I think once I see the pings from the Lissandra, if the Lissandra's like, hey, I'm TPing to this, flash, no. If I see the Lissandra TPing to it or pinging it, I'm more inclined to go and join. But to skirt the edges, really. I'm not looking to die here at all. Does it make sense? Like, I'm not looking to die here at all. A little bit of impact, maybe win the fight, maybe get the objective. But I want this mark that was here. You know, you want these camps, you want to shove this up. You want this pressure, because you got about a minute, right, before the Baron really spawns. So, creating a bit of offshoot pressure, getting a dragon, that's good, that's nice. You don't want to give them a situation where they can get Baron and the second Herald. Let's see what happens with that. Obviously, we have the second Herald ourselves, but it is what it is. Lissandra's kind of gaming, though. Lissandra is kind of gaming. Kindred will now go to the top side where red buff is. Evelynn obviously does not have the Banshee's Veil tech, which means Lissandra will kill her and is difficult not to crack. Evelynn's shadowing this top side situation here. We have Annie with Tibbers control. Activated, nice. We'll force a hold from someone, maybe. Evelynn should be able to hold this and rotate really quickly, but you have to be careful. Let's see, does she go around the outside? She should. We could go in here. While we see the Kindred, we could go in. We avoid the E from the Valkars this time, that's really good. We get the slow on our Kindred E. We get the Wind Wall activated. We get the Valkars activated. The Annie goes straight in onto the Squid Man. And now Evelynn's going to try and get in here with a Flash Charm onto the Tibbers lady. And, yeah, skirmish it is. We could use our ult there, Kindred. Yona's top side. Evelynn, oof. This is a tough one. Like, I get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But think about it in terms of what would you actually advise? Okay, firstly, don't get caught up there. What would you advise if Evelynn is on the bottom side, Yasuo's mid lane, and you got this guy top side here? I feel like you can either, if they send multiple numbers bot side, you can do this. If they have some disadvantage, which they do with the Draven, can we force a fight while Evelyn's on the bot side? Hopefully the answer to that is a resounding yes. But if you hold too long, as Nefariou's top lane here, if you hold too long on this, you're going to be in trouble. So we need to go in, alright, and try and get this kill. Now you're doing live assessment. You're watching the Evelynn, she detaches up. You know she's arriving. You know she's rotating. You know Draven's alive. You know Nefariou's top lane. You know Lissandra's not in the picture right now whatsoever. You've got to know when to pull the plug. You've got to know Evelynn's rotating. So here, you got to start to ping off your teammates to kite back. Because I'm worried about overcommitting here. This is a live fight. The idea is good. But as soon as Evelynn detaches on the map and disappears, that's a big question mark for us. And of course, the Draven has spawned. So they have 4. We have 3. Yes, the Lissandra's flanking, but she's out of position. So now, once this happens, I feel like we need to leave. If Annie overcommits and dies, she dies. But you guys need to bounce, right? Leave, run, go, 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 go. Just leave. Just leave. No hesitation. You're running, you're going, no stopping. Don't turn back. Don't compromise. Just leave. It's all over. It's all over here. Best thing you can do is not die. Obviously, we could use our ult, maybe get some more turn kills, but you just don't want to be in a situation here where everyone is getting wiped, and it's tough. It's tough. You're either strong enough to control that fight, 1v9, or you say, look, Andy, you overcommitted. I'm alive. Let me take some camps, get myself strong again, maybe buy some itemization, and if they go for this, then, you know, maybe I can steal, threaten, whatever. But it's a tough one. Really, it is. You know, you want to be in the position where Draven dead, Nefari top, Evelynn bot lane, hey, that's a hard engage for us, but we don't quite have the team comp for that outside of the Annie, which makes it difficult, especially as Yone is not trying to play the game whatsoever, as you can see. So you got to leverage that pressure. So in that situation, it's either pull the plug on that fight and get out, or don't take the fight in the first place and try and push the top lane turret with the Yone, right? Use your numbers advantage to push this in a little bit. That's always a good play. Now, we have killed the Draven once more, so we could look to go for a beautiful little Herald play here. Yeah. I'm just going to say Emerald things, as Evelynn will just recharge herself up, obviously. And so we start the Baron off, but Vel'Koz is alive, Naafiri is alive. Everyone is split off with an Evelynn on the map, which is always just weird to me. If we just all go Baron, Evelynn shows, we turn and kill, we can finish the Baron nicely. No coin flip whatsoever. Now we're all pre-chunked. Naafiri is starting to do a little bit of damage, but not enough to be human. And the Kindred looks like they're having a good game, but it's just scrappy and messy, right? It's like, hey, you got a beautiful ship. And it's just, you know, the Millennium Falcon. If you understand that sort of reference. It is a great ship, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Anyway, everyone's going to reset and spend their gold. We've got your soul point coming up. If you're the blue team here, you take that Baron and trade for the dragon 100%. Give them that dragon because they're afraid of the soul. Go straight for the sucker and take this because you've got a little bit of that momentum overall, right, in team fights. So just go ahead and take that. Yes, I like it. Go, 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 go. Follow the Evelynn. Give up the dragon. Give up the dragon. Give up the dragon. This is the play. I coach this all the time. This is how I teach it. Go here, take this. Dragon isn't even up yet. If you're red team, it's like the dragon isn't even up yet. So the timing distortion means you could easily do this and give up the soul point. Like, I would be okay giving up the soul point, especially the soul, for this, because I feel like if we win one fight, we get multi-inhibs, and then we're strong enough to fight around that Elder, or at least end, you know, in some cases. So really good play by the red team. Sorry, blue team. Not the red team. That was terrible. And now we can push. Let's see what happens macro-wise. They're going to base quickly, because obviously this is decent shot from the red team. Yone has no TP, so you have to factor that in here. You guys don't have Baron. Good pick. Terrible team. Yone trolling. I hear the excuses. But imagine if you had the Baron, you won in that situation, your team did get caught out, but you could split some pressure here. Right? That's always the goal. That's always the goal. Pressure over the course of the game using your lead to get closer to the Nexus. That being said, you will have teammates that want to troll and you will lose because of them. But I don't think, as bad as Yone is, that's why we lost. You know, we did die 9 times the most on the team. You cannot overlook that. We lost all dragons except for that last one. Yeah. Clumsy, inconsistent, not dedicated enough, but still a solid game. So in the games that this Kindred actually does those things, you know, does those things, I think they actually win those. That's what's going on here. But in the games where it's just like a little bit of nothingness, they lose. Well played to the Evelynn and the team. Yone, Yasuo did a good job. Yone did not do a good job, but yeah. Join us in the Virkayu Discord. We sometimes have viewers do this as well and showcase their games, so we can always learn from the different scenarios that arrive. But thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you all in the next one.